says, this is how the persecution is shaping us. This is the reason why we can't submit to this, because Christ is the one who's over history, and anything that attempts to do it over that, we're going to be faithfully disobedient. But he reiterates time and time again, give us the freedom and we'll follow. We have no problem submitting to the government as the state. Why is it so important that we keep this distinction? The two kingdoms idea. Why is it so important to keep that distinction in his mind?
Ooh, I wish he was here to answer that.
I know. And you've never met him, right? You've never met him. You're just familiar with him.
I've met him once in 2016. I went and was helping interview and film House Church pastors, and got to film or record him. We have film, but we just use the audio of him. It's a call to prayer for the American church to pray for China. It's really powerful. You can find it on YouTube. But yeah, anyway, so I've met him once. His kingdom theology, as I would say, among the people I know who are moving into more academic scholarship of his writing, there's a little bit of a debate on, is he one kingdom? Is he two kingdom? Is he Kuyperian? Is he not? You got to have this guy that I work with come on. He's currently writing a dissertation on this very question. And I'm hoping that he'll be able to turn his dissertation into a book eventually, because he could probably answer this question better than I can. But I think at a basic level, again, I think what it all comes down to is the question of allegiance and the kingship of Jesus for Wang Yi. I think Wang Yi has read very widely in Reformed theology, and I am sure he has a very clear opinion on the kingdoms that he could share with us. But I would say I don't feel confident with what we have in the book to really nail him down on that whole conversation, because my opinion is that he kind of wiggles between them a little bit. Some of the things you read really, come across as a very, Calvinistic or Kuyperian kind of take on this question. And then some things you read and you're like, this guy's an Anabaptist. But sorry, this is a lot of me processing as I talk. But what I was getting to is that what is crystal clear about Wang Yi's thought is that what matters is the kingship of Jesus. And what matters is that he is very clear in his understanding that, Christ is the king of the cosmos. He is the one who ordains all authorities underneath him. As such, we are very much called to respect and to adhere to those authorities in every way, except for where they limit the church's ability to be the church. And this is, again, he's not unique as a Chinese pastor on this topic, even though he's very outspoken against the three self-church and the state church, and even though he's very vocal in his fights with the Communist Party, in all seriousness, I would say but for sure, all of the house churches across China, they're very serious about being good citizens. They're not trying to take a antagonistic posture towards their culture, I would say. They love being Chinese. they love China. Many of them, if you talk to them, they're not coming at you saying like, oh, China's this horrible place and everything that the government does is just the worst. They're actually, I would say, very, very faithful Chinese citizens. But again, the kind of one thing where they will, in Wang Yi's words, choose to be faithfully disobedience is this question of the limitation of the church being able to be the church, and with that, again, who is the king of this church? Who is the king of our world? And he's incredibly unbending on that issue.